We are talking about reopening America, reopening Congress this morning. House Minority Leader Kevin McCarthy is outlining a 4-point plan to reopen the lower chamber. House Speaker Nancy Pelosi has not commented on this yet. The Senate returned to work on Monday, but the House remains out of work because the Speaker said to stay home. Joining us right now is California Congressman, House Minority Leader Kevin McCarthy. Congressman, it's good to have you this morning. Thanks so much for joining us.
Thank you, Maria.
So tell me, you are in Washington, obviously. You're back at work. Tell us about your plan, 4 points to coming back to work.
Thank you, Maria. And the real part here is you're hearing every day of more businesses opening back up. Starbucks is going to open up. The only place that isn't open on Congress is the Congress. The Senate is open, but the House is not. That's because Nancy Pelosi continues to keep us closed. Why? As we stay closed, Nancy gets more power and China gets a pass. That is what is wrong. We laid out a very clear plan, a number of Republicans, of how we can open up. We modify procedures, so we keep votes open longer so there's not as many members in the chambers at one time, so you have social distancing. We modify committees where we bring them back in a staged area. The important committees, like you have to get armed services for national defense, appropriations to fund government as we go forward, oversight to be looking at how this all came about within China. Then we look at making sure we have the health protections as we go forward. We put plexiglass up in areas where you see in these stores and others that are high traffic. We make sure we have hand cleanser and others throughout. We make sure the staff is a smaller margin. And when we do these committees, we hold them in larger rooms so we have social distancing. We can make this happen. Congress can work. We are essential. But it's more important than just opening up the campus. It's about restoring America's voice to what is happening right now. And if Congress is not essential, how can we make this country move forward?
So have you spoken with the Speaker about this? Has Nancy Pelosi responded to you? And I don't understand why her being at home and the House not being back at work gives her more power. So you have to explain that to us, why she would not want the chamber back. I don't get it.
Well, let me explain that very clearly. By the House is not in, the Speaker says she wants to bring us back next week just for a vote. Vote on a bill that's trillions of dollars, that's never been through a committee, so America does not have a voice in it. We have no data of what we're going to spend it on. It becomes a liberal wish list so that you walk back into the chambers and you vote on one thing, not on building the committee of what things need. It's just the liberal wish list of what Nancy Pelosi wants. She's the only one who has drafted it and tries to move that forward, spending trillions of dollars. That's how it empowers her. And then the other thing that she'd like to vote on is to change the House rules. More than 200 years of how the House works. She wants to move to a proxy. What does that mean? That in her back pocket, she could have 200 votes. So every American lends their voice for every 2 years to their congresswoman or congressman. They can't hold Nancy Pelosi accountable. They can only hold the member that they represent. But they lent that voice and gave it to Nancy Pelosi through a proxy. That's why it empowers her greater, so more liberal views can be put into place.
So she can work on a fourth stimulus package or a relief package, putting in it what she wants, and then she'll just have everybody come back and do an up and down vote. Meanwhile, they didn't have any voice in terms of what's in that package. So that's basically her bill, and she's going to push it through.
No oversight of the bill, no view of it. All she wants to do is investigations. But the one place she does not want to investigate is China. They continue to drag their feet while China continues to dig in to go after the rest of the world. That is what is happening, why Congress is not working. Remember all the other challenges America had, from civil wars to battles? Congress always stayed in session. This is the only time. You can go, and now 85% of Starbucks are going to be open. But Congress cannot work. The Senate is working, but Congress is not working. That is wrong. We laid out a plan.
I'm looking at an article from the Washington Examiner. Adam Schiff says this: Trump may be lying about evidence tying coronavirus to the Wuhan lab. You're right. They're trying to investigate the president, and they're actually siding in some corners with China. This is what Adam Schiff is talking about this morning, Congressman.
And if you look at the Southampton report, 95% of this never would have happened had China not lied. You have reported this from the very beginning. Of all the shows, you brought up the Wuhan laboratory at the very beginning. And people tried to criticize you, and you've been proven right. What did China do during that time while they were lying to the rest of the world? They were hoarding all the personal protection equipment. And then they would not allow people from Wuhan to fly to Beijing or any place else in China, but they would still allow the international flights to spread it across the world. Thank God President Trump shut down those flights when the World Health Organization at the same time was saying it wasn't being transferred human to human. Why isn't Congress investigating the World Health Organization?
We're looking at a graphic right now, Congressman, of the total COVID-19 tests. And obviously, the U.S. has done many, many more testing than anybody else in the world. You've got 7 million tests here in the United States, much more than Italy, New Zealand, South America, India, Ecuador, South Korea, etc. This chart comes from the White House. You're calling for Congress to accept the president's offer to test members for COVID-19. Other congressional leaders, including Nancy Pelosi and Mitch McConnell, are rejecting those tests. They say it's just they're too scarce. So, Congressman, why do you believe it's important for all the members to be tested now, and why wouldn't your colleagues want to be tested?
Well, it's a public health issue. Remember, just in the last week, we've tested 1.7 million individuals. That will grow week to week, where there's millions upon millions of tests happening. It's about public health. If you are going to bring back committees, I would test those members and staff that are in those, and also the press. Because what happens is these members go from throughout the country. They're flying in and out. You do not want to spread it. And remember, as we open back up, there will be a hot spot. You want to be able to have testing and tracing at that moment to control it. But you don't want all these people coming back and going back into their cities and counties. You want to make sure that's tested, just as we're testing more and more every day. If it's a couple hundred more tests, it'll make the country safer. But what's also really important here is government itself. You want to make sure government is still able to run. And I don't understand why you would not accept those tests, just as you're doing in other places that are essential.
Congressman, real quick, we only have about 40 seconds here. The Treasury is saying this morning that it is going to be launching a long-planned 20-year bond. And they are increasing the securities auction sizes across a range of maturities to raise cash to meet the record government borrowing needs caused by this coronavirus outbreak. 20-year bond here coming out of Treasury. That's on top of all of the plans, $7 trillion thrown at this economy. Do you think this is going to work? Your reaction to what we're getting out of Treasury, real quick, Congressman.
Yes, it's going to work, and it's smart. Think of what the rate is right now. It's practically zero. I would not only look at 20 years, I'd look at 50 years. Give us the ability to restructure this. We've got to start looking at our debt and get this under control. But if you have a low interest rate now, lock that in long term so we can manage it. Because just an interest rate movement up can break us because we have so much debt on hand. That's why we got to get this country back to work. And it starts with Congress getting back to work and getting to the bottom of what's going on.
Thank you so much for your plan. We have put it out there. Congressman, it's good to see you this morning. Thank you so much.